Hi guys, welcome to today's video. My name is Enorita James. I am a clinical research scientist of over 22 years working experience. In my channel, I talk about preventive health using diet, using natural supplements, and after I tell you how I take my supplements. I am a cancer survivor, and whatever I say is something that I do. It is not a treatment. It is a way of life, what to do to be able to have a healthy lifestyle and prevent a lot of degenerative diseases. Today I'm going to be talking about a lot of things you can do to look young and age gracefully. And it all has to do with some little activities and the food that you take in. So stay tuned. So what are the tips that I can give to you to make you stay and look young? Number one, sunlight. You need to expose yourself to the sun because that is the basic way of getting vitamin D. And vitamin D is so important. If you're living in a country that there's a lot of sun, don't waste it by staying indoors. Create at least 1 hour, 30 minutes a day and get enough sun. Because what sunlight actually does is that it generates what is called melatonin. And this is an antioxidant that gets rid of free radicals. And free radicals are one of the causes of diseases, especially cancer. So exposing yourself to the sun for me is my number one tip for looking young because of the vitamin D that you do get. This is the most best and natural form of vitamin D. It beats any kind of supplements you may take. Just exposing yourself to sunlight. But for some of us that live in Europe and we don't have enough sun, that is why we take some of these supplements. But if you're in a place or in a country that you have sun most of the time of the year, then make good use of it. Get some sun, especially if you're black, because for black people, it takes more sun for you to get the vitamin D. It takes more sun for you to get that melatonin that actually works as an antioxidant and gets rid of free radicals. So expose yourself to sun. That's my number one tip of staying younger. Number two, eat foods that help your liver get rid of poisons. Your liver is your powerhouse, so you need to guard it and eat food that will help it to do the work that it's supposed to do. Because when you have poisons in your systems, they lead to inflammation, and inflammation is the foundation for cancer. So anything that can reduce inflammation, you need to go for it. And some of such food are what I call the cruciferous vegetables. These are vegetables that reduce inflammation. They are antioxidants. That is, they reduce processes that may lead to diseases, that may lead to quick aging of cells. So, what are cruciferous vegetables? Let me list it here for you, some of the common ones that I know. Arugula. Arugula is amazing. Apart from it having being a cruciferous vegetable, it also helps in some forms of cancer. I take it a lot. It has a big role to play when it comes to what I call the estrogen positive breast cancer. That is not for this video. I will talk about that in another video. But just know that this is one of the cruciferous vegetables you can use in your salads. I even sprinkle it on my rice before I eat it. No matter what I'm eating it for, even if I'm eating it, the rice with the sauce, I sprinkle arugula on it. Every time I take grains, I sprinkle arugula. It's very important. Broccoli. This is one of the best cruciferous vegetables you can even eat. Another one is what they call Brussels sprouts. It's very good. Cabbage. Cabbage is everywhere, very common, especially the red ones. They are very good cruciferous vegetables that can keep your liver healthy. Take a lot of cabbage, do a lot of coleslaw, salads. Try and take salads, if not every day, at least every other day. Especially if you're living in Africa where most of these things are grown naturally. They are very good. You'll be surprised at how youthful you will look if you do this. Even remember in the Bible, Daniel and his group were given vegetables and water, and they looked better than the other people that were eating chicken, a lot of meat and all what. So these vegetables I've listed, they are very common ones. There are a lot of cruciferous vegetables, but I'm listing the ones that are too common and easy for you to find. There's this one that is called, what is it? Kale. I've never used it, but I think it's very good. There's cucumber. Cucumber is also very good. Tomatoes is good. So take a look at all those vegetables and start incorporating them into your diet. They will help you actually look younger. Another thing you can do to stay young and look young is to eat food that improves bile production. Why would you do that? What is bile? What does bile do for you in your body? The most two important things that I want to talk about that bile does and why you should eat food that will help you improve the production of bile is that, number one, bile is involved in the metabolism of fat. So when you're eating fatty food, bile is involved for it to be metabolized and broken down for your body to absorb it. Number two, bile is involved in the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins like vitamins A, D, E, and K. So even if you're taking supplements, you need bile to absorb it so that the body can use it to do what it is supposed to use it to do. So you need to eat food that improves your bile production. And what are the kind of foods? Let me list them here. You have number one, blackberry. Blackberry is very important, and of course it's very sweet. So those are things you should do. You take your blackberry, alternate days. It's good for production of bile. And then ginger. I take a ginger drink every other night. I just chop ginger into hot water and I take it just before I go to bed. Every other night. I don't do it every day because I've noticed that ginger tends to also help you slim down. So for those of you out there, if you're listening to me and you want to slim down, just be taking ginger drink every night. For 6 weeks, you'll slim down. Naturally. Very natural. And ginger is so good. It's an antioxidant. It's so good. You'll be amazed. Another thing is cruciferous vegetables, which I've mentioned before. This also helps in bile production. Turmeric too is good. And egg yolk. Egg yolk is so good to help you produce bile. So those are the few things. I like mentioning things that are easy for you to find and you can incorporate into your everyday diet. So these things I've mentioned are easy for you to find in any vegetable store, and then you incorporate it into your diet, and then you see the effects and see the way you look. Another thing you should do is to eat good fat. There are two kinds of fat. There's the saturated fat and trans fat. Those are the bad fat. The good fat is food that contains what is called unsaturated fat. And that's the food I'm going to list for you now. Those are the kind of food that contains good fat that you should eat. Let me list it for you. Number one, as I mentioned, egg yolk. Egg yolk contains very good fat. It also contains omega-3, which is very good for the bones and for your heart. Salmon fish. Salmon fish is so high on omega-3, and omega-3 is fantastic for your health. When your cells are healthy, you will look younger. Organ meat. Did you know that liver, kidney, heart meat is more nutritious than even normal meat. So change your diet. Eat more of organ meat, because that's where you're going to get very wonderful unsaturated fat that is good for your system. Butter. Switch from margarine to butter. Butter is very good. You can even use your butter to make your scrambled eggs. It's better than using margarine. Because some margarine, they contain trans fat, which is not a good fat. So stick to butter is better. You can use butter for your bread or butter for your toast and all that. It's much better. Then nuts. And of course, avocado pear. Avocado pear is a topic on its own. If you've not been taking this pear, please start taking it today. That is what I use. That's what I eat first before I even eat my meal. After my intermittent fasting, I start with avocado. Because it has so much in it, you'll be amazed. I will do a full video on this pear to let you see what you're missing if you're not taking it. And of course, olive oil and cod liver oil. Those are the things that contain good unsaturated oil that is good for your body, good for your skin, good for your organs. Because when your inside is well, of course your outside will look younger. So try and consume a lot of vegetables, especially in the form of salad that I've mentioned before. But remember, when you're eating your salad, use olive oil as your salad dressing. Always use olive oil. You can always even sprinkle the olive oil on your salad before you use whatever dressing you want. But for me, most of my dressing, I put a lot of olive oil. It's very important. It helps a lot. And then try to do things that will, improve your natural antioxidants. Things like exercising and fasting. I have a video here about intermittent fasting, which is very good. Because number one, it helps you stimulate what is known as autophagy. If you don't know what autophagy is, I also have a video about autophagy, which I'm going to link maybe towards the end of this video. A state where your body gets rid of bad cells and recycles it to make new ones. That makes you look younger. It removes older cells and recycles it. And the only way you can stimulate autophagy, one of the best ways, is by fasting, intermittent fasting, which doesn't cost you anything except discipline and persistence. That's all it costs you. But the benefits are so huge. So you can watch my videos on autophagy and know, how to go about it. And try and stay away from refined carbohydrates and sugar. In fact, if you can stay away from sugar completely, I have a short video, I think just a 1-minute video of what can happen to you if you can stay away from sugar for 30 days. I have a short video, I think it's a YouTube short also. If you check my YouTube channel, you'll find it. Stay away from sugar. Did you know that excessive glucose that is caused by excessive sugar intake or carbohydrate intake, it can block vitamin C and B1? And these two vitamins, which you can get, of course, from your food, they are very powerful antioxidants that your body actually needs. So it's important that you reduce your sugar or completely stay off sugar. It will help you a lot in staying young and looking young. So, the last but not the least, reduce your stress. I know it's easier said than done, especially in today's world that there's a lot of stress. People are running around looking for money left, right, and center. But reducing stress can actually help you stay young. And one of the things you can do really is to take deep breathing exercises intermittently during your day. Just take out time and take deep exercises, deep breathing exercises. It does wonders for your system. I have a long blog post on breathing exercises on my website, www.healthinstress.com. I'll put the link to my website below this video. You can go check it out if you have the time, but it's very good. It actually helps you so much to calm you down and to reduce some of those stress hormones that causes a lot of havoc to your cells and then causes a lot of inflammation, joint pains. And talking of joint pains, what exactly causes joint pain and how can you prevent it naturally? Watch my next video. Thank you for watching this one. Till my next video.